Happy Wednesday, folks. Anthony Speciale here with Speciale Analysis for another chapter of Unedited and on the Edge of the Market. Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. We're going to dive in today, look at a trade opportunity that has just transpired. So, market's been under a bit of pressure. We had a short bias on a handful of stocks, one of them being Apple. Apple, we've traded a handful of times throughout these wiggles that we've experienced over the past, couple months at this point, but we successfully seem to be continuing to navigate it over and over and over again, which makes me happy. The idea here is pull a few percent on the chart, and you can get basically 10x that in the options market. So if you can get 5, 8, 10% in the on the chart, you can potentially squeeze out 50, 60, 80% in the options market by properly picking either a call or put option to represent the trade on the underlying asset. And that's exactly what I do. That's how I personally trade. So I share this with you, and you may go, well, Anthony, 8% is not exciting. No, it's not. But if 8% equates to 70 or 80% on a put option, it gets exciting pretty quick. Now, yesterday I shared a whole bunch of new ideas with you in addition to covering a handful that we've been watching that are transpiring well for us. So we're waiting for a few to still hit our targets, and we have a few new ones that are off and running. So we're going to see what happens with them, but we'll continue to monitor them, and we'll circle back on them, of course, next week. But I wanted to share this Apple trade with you. Very simply put, trend favoring. We want to stay on the right side of the trend. The old saying, the trend is your friend. And this worked out beautifully. So let me kind of break this down for you so you kind of see it from my eyes. Impulse, correction, big impulse, correction. Now, this did give us an opportunity to trade this long, but we're in a downtrend. I don't want to buy the market in a downtrend. So for the past couple of weeks, I've really kind of, for about 2 weeks or so, I sat on the sidelines. Why? Because there just wasn't anything exciting to buy during what was considered a relief rally or short covering rally. I knew that the trend is still overall to the downside. So I want to stay on the bias of the overall to the downside. Now you can see this chart is marked up. These are all hand-drawn lines. There's nothing done here by a computer-generated program. This is all done just by yours truly. So it's simply drawn out. I try to keep it simple. I use monthly, weekly charts to identify where these key areas are, that when price breaks through these key areas or settles above or below them, that there's likely to be some form of follow-through. Now, with that, I want to be on the right side of the market. Obviously, again, the market is in a downtrend, so I've been waiting for the shorting opportunity. Well, that's what I had 2 weeks ago. You could see price action popped above an area of support and resistance. Buyers were in control. Sellers regained control. I want to be on the side of the market that the bias is on. The bias is to the downside. So I waited for the sell signal. Here it is. Sold the market at 145.25. Bought it back yesterday, actually I should say Monday, at the open at 133, and I'm out. So I was in this trade for about 6 whole trading days. Not very long. Let's just measure it off and see kind of what we offered ourselves here. We got about, let's call it 8.38% return on the actual underlying price action itself. Now, properly timed put option, and by just being ultra simple, just simply buying a put option, buying a, let's call it a 140 put option strike price, could have easily put 60 to 80% return on your money in your pocket in just 6 market trading days. It doesn't have to take a long time. It can happen just this quick. But if we can do this and find this over and over and over again, imagine compounding that 50, 60, 80% over and over and over again. Now, we've successfully navigated Apple over the past couple months at least 3 or 4 times at this point, as to the upside and to the downside. So we have been fortunate enough to pick a few good setups. We've also sat on the sidelines for a period of time, which is okay because we didn't lose any money by doing that. But we have navigated, again, a handful of winning trades by simply looking for somewhere between 5 to 10% of the underlying price move and just taking that to the options market. Not complicated. You can do this on Robinhood. You can do this on TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, that's what I use. You could do this on any options platform that you have. It's a matter of just simply charting it out and then executing it properly. Now, there's lots of different ways to use the options market. I do it the simple way. I buy calls to go long. I buy puts to go short. With that, I've been very successful. I know that I have also limited my risk, meaning that if the trade goes completely wrong and against me, the only amount of money that I could ever possibly lose is the premium I paid to exercise those options. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. I hope you see how powerful this actually is, this methodology that I employ, this analysis that I use, and we will again look for the next opportunity when it comes around, because guess what? It absolutely, positively will, because it always does. Listen, the market is full of assets that continue to come back around, come back around, come back around. We can retrade the same thing over and over and over again. But we don't have to, because there's always a new opportunity somewhere else, whether it's in the equity markets, the future markets, the crypto markets, the currency markets, whatever it may be. But if you just followed Apple over the past couple of months, you, again, could have found 3, 4, 5 easily identifiable opportunities and made a good chunk of change. Now listen, of course we can never guarantee that, but I wanted to share this with you, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Now if you learned something, that's great. If you missed yesterday's video, do yourself a favor. Go back and watch it, because I gave you about 4 or 5 brand new trade ideas that look just like this one that you could take advantage of. We talked about Micron. We talked about General Electric. We talked about the NASDAQ as a whole. We talked about the XLRE, which is an ETF that monitors the real estate market as a whole. Those were all opportunities I shared yesterday. Brand new opportunities in addition to following up on opportunities we've been watching now for a couple weeks. But where else are you going to get 4 trade ideas 100% for free other than right here? And not only 4 trade ideas, but 4 credible trade ideas. Again, can't guarantee they're going to work, but they are absolutely credible. So with that, I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here with me today and always. If I could ask a simple favor, and that is just below this video, if you could like, share, and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it, so as many folks out there in the universe can get this information, use it to leverage it, and to better themselves. And that is my ultimate goal, is to do this 100% for free, so fine folks out there can, in fact, take control of their own finances. So with that, I appreciate you again. I will speak to you tomorrow, because I have another exciting idea that has come to fruition that I want to share with you. So please make sure you tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's opportunity that I'm going to share with you is going to be incredible. So I will talk to you tomorrow morning. So thank you again, and enjoy your day.